cut it back or like a corporate office or something. Agree.
All right, I would like to call this meeting on November 10th to order. If you will please join us for a moment of silent meditation. I will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Exact, will you please read the mission statement?
Our mission is to guide students to become informed, engaged citizens, and curious lifelong learners.
Okay, well, congratulations. We have a tentative agreement of the teacher collective bargaining agreement. And I have some highlights, if not everything that was changed in the contract for your information. Dealing with sick leave, if a teacher leaves Kankakee Valley and goes to another school corporation and does not work in another school corporation, which they transferred sick days, then if we hire them back at KV, then all their sick days will immediately be reinstated. Also, we've added a buyback, a maximum of 10 days per teacher at a rate of $65 per day. If a teacher going into the school year has 100 days, for example, they've accumulated enough days, then there is a buyback for those individuals. There was an additional personal day added, so we're at 3 days. Also, Martin Luther King Jr. Day was added to the vacation periods during the school year. Under professional leaves, if a teacher is taking the praxis or other licensing exam for the first time, once per year, we would give them a professional leave for that. Paid parental leave went from 5 to 10 paid parental days. Can be used during a 12-week period, and that was a 10-week period. Association leave has been increased to 6 days. Retirement health insurance, a section was added. It's actually part of law that if a teacher is employed in the corporation and they retire, they meet the eligibility requirements of the vendor and Indiana code, they still may purchase health insurance at the full cost. Workers' compensation, we provide that. It's required by law, but we went ahead and added a section for that. Also with school violence across the nation, we added a section in there where an individual a teacher would accumulate, would not lose any sick leave, and the corporation would pay the difference of workers' comp and their regular pay. Retirement benefits, we've increased the dollar amount to 65 days times 90 days. It was 75 days. Retirement plan was called the matching annuity plan. There's quite a bit of work on that, and that has been changed to retirement plan. Also, teachers hired on a regular teacher contract shall be vested immediately in their matching account in the retirement plan. Extracurricular, a teacher shall notify the corporation by September 1st if they concerning their payment for extracurricular. In the past, if someone has maxed out on our scale and could have received $1,200 moving down, but they have maxed out, that will be paid out in the stipend, which has been there from the previous contract. That money will be divided, half will be in December and half will be paid in May as stipends. We also added rows K through T, K through U, U through Y, and U through Z, which were there. But if we hire someone with 20 more years of experience, that gives all of us some flexibility in hiring at a higher rate for those individuals. Under the grievance procedure, there was some typos. from the years past. It should be American Arbitration Association. It did stay exclusive representation or representative, which was a typo from years past. ECA, there was not any significant changes. We moved from the intermediate school art club to a different column. FCA was added to the middle school. And then last year we did an MOU concerning a head diving and assistant swim coach, which was in force, but we just added to the written contract. We removed the word technology from in service. The dollar amounts still remain the same. Under insurance, some items were rearranged, such as vendor and self-insurance fund were there. The vendor was added to a different section. This year, our self-insurance fund will be utilized in two ways. The first way is that it reads, "This shall mean that a teacher's health insurance premium contributions for the month of February 2026 shall not be withheld from the teacher's paycheck, but shall be paid out of the self-insurance fund." This can be called a premium holiday in the month of February. Premium contributions increased. Single will be $966. Member and family will be $1,982. The teachers that are married couples that are teachers in the corporation, teachers who are spouses may have two single plans or one family plan. That made it clear for people to understand. And then married couples in the corporation shall receive a contribution of $2,343 per month if they choose the family plan. The second way the self-insurance plan is being used is we've added a retiree incentive this year. Some of the highlights for this retiree incentive is that the individual must have been employed as a teacher at KV for 15 years. They must be 55 years or older by September 30th of 2026. It applies to 10 teachers. Each individual may receive $60,000 for KV health insurance premiums. They do not receive a check for that. It will be deducted, but they could receive up to $60,000. The $60,000 ends when it's all spent out or they become Medicare eligible. It would not be eligible. People would not be eligible if they're Medicare eligible. In the compensation plan, we are adding $1,000 to everyone's base. So our starting pay is $47,500 for the 25-26 school year. And it maxes out at $83,900. So everyone will receive $1,000 to the base. If an individual was here last year and this year, and they received an evaluation rating of sufficient for the teacher to retain employment at the corporation for this year, they will move down for an additional $1,200 for a total of $2,200. Their education remains the same of $800 if they've accumulated enough credit hours to move over. Then there was an additional column added, and that is the academic needs of students that was required by the state. So a teacher who completes an early literacy endorsement shall move down a row and shall advance one column on the salary schedule. Advancing one column is a $400 salary increase for the 25-26 only. A teacher will have until December 1st to notify corporation office and provide proof of that. I guess that's for that dollar amount. 26-27 school year, we'll be adding an additional $1,000 to the base. So our starting pay will be $48,500, and we will top out at $84,900. Concerning some of our pay, someone that was a beginning teacher last year that moves down and receives another $1,000 and another $1,200 for a total of $2,200. Percentage wise, that's a 4.73% increase to their pay. A teacher that was at $81,300 and received $2,200 is a 2.71%. So overall, it's approximately 3.548% total new money for this year for teachers for just the salary alone. Next year, receiving $1,000 and move down to $1,200 is a 4.54% increase, and goes down to a 2.60% for someone that was at 83,500. That's our range. So over a two-year period, an individual teacher early in their career will receive a 9.25%. Someone that's been here for quite a while would receive a 5.31%. So overall, 2 year, about a 7% increase overall to the salary. There's also a stipend called the Cougar stipend. This is a one-time stipend for the 25-26 school year. Teachers who worked at least 120 days during the 24-25 school year at Kankakee Valley School Corporation, whose 24-25 evaluation result was sufficient for the teacher to retain employment with the corporation and currently employed in the school corporation, will receive a one-time stipend equal to the teacher's years of the corporation times $200, not to exceed $2,000. That shall be paid not later than January 1st. So those were many of our highlights. I'd like to thank Jill, Tim, and Dan for their work during negotiations, and quite a few hours put into it. So thank you to the board members, and then of course Chris and Mike for their work, and Betsy Barnes. So
thank you for your work as well.
thank you. So public comment over anything that was given to you or about the proposed tentative agreement.
Anyone would like to speak about it?
Okay, very good. Just a reminder, on Friday, we have a special board meeting for the board to approve the contract, and that will be at 4 o'clock, I believe, here. That will happen at that time. There is no public comment. I'll move on. The KV Student of the Month has been moved to Monday, the 24th. So approval of minutes and claims. We recommend your approval for the minutes of the October 28th, 2025 board meeting and executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff, second by Jill, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend your approval for the corporation claims and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dan, second by Katie, all in favor, 6-0.
Under report items, we'd like to congratulate the high school's cheerleading squad who competed in their first competition on the 1st of November at the Hoosier Cheer Coaches Association, the Spirits State Championship in Greenfield, and finished second in the co-ed division. Also, congratulations to the boys cross country runner, Matt Huffman, who participated in the IHSAA state meet on the 1st of November and earned the fastest time by a KV male runner in a state meet since 1987. And he also took the highest finish Saturday for any runner in Northwest Indiana. Congratulations to Jenna Walker with her 4th place finish, and Krista Sietsma with her 12th place finish at the cross country state finals. And then the Kankakee Valley High School Congratulations on being named a 2025 Indiana Purple Star School. This designation honors their significant commitment to service members, veterans, and students and families connected to the nation's military. So congratulations to them and thank you for doing that. Also, we have now the second reading for the Neola recommended revised and new board policies. Most of them have been revised. I sent information out to you and we had our first reading last week. If you have any comments or items. If not, we'll continue under employment actions. We'd ask that you approve retirements as listed.
Second.
Moved by Katie, second by Jill, all in favor, 6-0.
Under resignations, we'd ask that you accept the resignation as listed.
Second.
Moved by Tim, second by Jeff, all in favor, 6-0.
Under leaves, we'd ask that you approve the leave request.
So moved.
Second.
By Dan, second by Jill, all in favor, 6-0.
Under extracurriculars, we'd ask that you approve the ECA recommendations.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Jeff, second by Tim, all in favor. And I'm gonna abstain because my niece is on there. So 5-0-1.
You, under employment with classified, we'd ask that you approve the classified recommendation.
Second.
Moved by Katie, second by Dan, all in favor, 6-0.
Under new business, we recommend that the Lee Company remove the existing top bleacher at the middle school and replace it with a 73 Hussey 12-inch courtside seat model.
So. Second.
Moved by Tim, second by Jeff, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommended an increase in work days from 4 to 5 for Demont Elementary School Title I aide Abby Phillips.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jill, second by Katie, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend your approval for implementing the updated food safety plan for KV Food Service Department to comply with the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program requirements.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff, second by Dan, all in favor, 6-0.
We'd ask that you approve the Neola revised and new bond policies as listed in the report items.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jill, second by Jeff, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend to hire H&T Electrical to replace the main electrical switchgear at Demont Elementary School.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Tim, second by Dan, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend that Clear Armor install protective film on several additional areas at the high school.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Katie, second by Jeff, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend that Lazaro replace a set of doors going from the courtyard to the hallway at the high school to satisfy the requirement of the state fire marshal.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dan, second by Jeff, all in favor, 6-0.
We recommend corporation contributions for health, vision, and dental insurance effective January 1st, 2026 for qualified staff per the attachment that was provided.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Tim, second by Jill, all in favor, 6-0.
Under field trips, we'd recommend your approval of the field trip listed for the high school student council.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Dan, second by Katie, all in favor, 6-0.
And professional leaves, we'd recommend your approval for the professional leave request listed.
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by Dan, second by Jeff, all in favor? 6-0.
Those are all the items that I have.
Yeah, motion concurred.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ben, second by Katie, all in favor? 6-0. And we have 6:20.
The work session after several papers have been signed.
You don't have to stay, Brooke, if you don't want. You can go. Or you're welcome to stay. Whatever you want to do. Yeah,
You fulfilling a requirement?
she was
She's
on the
agenda.
agenda. She wanted to be here since she was on the agenda.
You didn't get a phone call?
These are
No, she's.
Okay.
There's 9.
For the volunteer
Oh, so that's
basketball.
okay. I'm afraid it'd be like a 3-4 vote or something. 4-3. Well, congratulations. You want to give a speech while we're waiting or anything? Yeah.
Acceptance speech, that's.
Yeah, I didn't tell you. You have to speak if you can't.
It was.
On the signatures.
Sign that?
Yeah. Okay.
Right above.
What's going worse than her?
Chesterton.
Oh, do you have to go there?
No. It's Chesterton, Michigan City. There's one more thing in Lake up that.
Good for them.
Everything that will happen.
Mine stayed the whole ride here. On the hood of my car.
He said there's more on his
There's
truck
more in my
here
truck
than
than there
what's
is on the
here.
ground.
On the ground, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, for sure. At Holbert too. like-
The website that he sent us, I did like how easy the calendar was to read on that. I don't know if you guys looked at it, but.
I didn't, I
The-
looked
the
at it, but I
website.
didn't pick calendar. I didn't look,
Mine's all about the calendar and being able
Yeah.
to read it quickly.
I need to go.
And that was
look
the
at
first thing I looked at. So that part I liked, the rest of it, I didn't really look at either.
And I was just.
But you
looking
have
at
to think
other
of
stuff.
something that you want to look up. to,
Yes.
You know, to see how convenient it is.
Yeah, the calendar's still the thing, I never got the most.
That and school start times.
Fair.
Just to verify or end times.
Okay, we'll start the work session then, if you're ready. 11:23. First, we'll have curriculum and testing, Mike.
I have the website up here, but I would like to take a second to recognize the Purple Star Award that was in there. Hats off to Joe Bation, assistant principal at the high school. He kind of a process. He had to go through training and there's different things that a school has to do in order to get that. Out of all of the schools in Indiana, there are only 100 that have it and 75 new ones. Then there were around 25 that renewed it from last year. So thanks to Joe for doing that. The other thing, you guys were kind of talking a little bit about the potential website. Our website tends to be a little bit cumbersome and hard to find things on it. So there are a couple of different options that Mr. Romer supplied us examples. We kind of looked at how easy it was to get around and then cost. Some of them were pretty pricey. This one is the one that he kind of liked, one thing that he likes is that this bar here moves up. And then when it gets to the top, it stops, where in other websites, it goes up and then it disappears. But yeah, I think overall it's a little easier to navigate. You know, Christy said she likes calendars. Hopefully the calendars will come up. Yeah.
Well, but it's like right there. You don't have to go.
Yeah, and then it shows the entire month, like.
Yeah.
See, like, so I assume all the events would be on there.
They would all be on there, yes.
So I was like, ooh, I like that because it's all right there.
Our current website has that.
Well, it just takes forever to get to it though, like.
That's true.
The
You
ease
know.
of finding the calendar.
And then you have to click on the date, at least from your phone, you have to click on the date and then it pops up on the side what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was hoping that this is all listed, hopefully.
And that's a good point. I did not look at it on the phone. I've only looked at it on the laptop. I did go to the athletics page and it's got a lot of information with the athletics, has the events on there, which we already have, but I like the sign on the side there. It's a little bit easier to find things and so forth. We have a lot of documents, required documents, dealing with things that are on the website that need to be accessible, and they're there, but you have to search for them. So my suggestion, if you would just kind of take a look at things a little bit more when you have time and give some suggestions, and if it's something
Yeah,
that
it's a little bit different on a phone.
is it.
Yeah, like you lose that, what you liked of that banner moving, you don't get that on a phone.
But the
So-
calendar did come up. Now, as long as I don't have to click on it every day to see what it is.
And you can't tell that
Yeah,
at this
I
point.
can't see that, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
So before we move on to a new one, well, this is just an option.
Mhm.
Price wise, it was pretty affordable compared to some others that were out there. Any questions on it? And that's really all I have.
So take a look at the website, give some feedback. You can make a recommendation. We're going to change very soon, so we'll have transition. Chris?
Yep, I wanted to give an update on our bond. Our bond sold on November 4th. This was $11 million bond. And because of our A+ credit rating, there was lots of participation in the market on our bond. And we got an interest rate of 2.91755%, which the estimates that we were working with were closer to 5%. So that was very good for the school corporation and taxpayers. This will bring our combined tax rate down about between 3 and 4 cents. We're anticipating a total tax rate of 0.785, which last year we were at 0.822. So that's also good news for the taxpayer. All in all, very good bonds have polls.
And the closing rate?
Closing date is November 25th.
Any questions about the bond or finances? Very good. We will now move into our presentation of the mod on Wheatfield.
Well, good evening. I'm David, principal of Wheatfield Elementary School.
This is what I have to work with. But being that said, we decided to do it together because it was kind of silly for us to do it separate because we do pretty much everything. We really wanted to push that unity of Wheatfield Elementary and DeMont Elementary. And it's been getting better and better, I think, every year. And so it's silly because we're kind of doing the same thing. So we don't want to have to repeat on things that we're talking about. So
Yeah, Tracy and I collaborate daily, so the phone call, the Google chat, the email, we're in touch and rather too. So don't you feel left out, Rhonda. So, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
feel
strong,
free to hop in
strong
anytime,
team,
Rhonda.
strong team, so. Here's our enrollment at Wheatfield Elementary. So our total is 292 with a breakdown. As you know, we added the life skills classroom at Wheatfield Elementary this school year. So that is now at 11 students altogether. And then
Here's Demont. We did lose our life skills kids to Wheatfield, so it would be approximately 10 more kiddos. So not real far from last year at this point, but a little bit still under. And I really think we kind of looked at that, and I think housing is an issue in Demont. There's just not a whole lot of affordable housing for young families, so I think that's playing a role right now. And split families also. Single parents can't afford that, so they're going to live with families out of state and out of town. So we kind of have kind of keep an eye on that. What's the reasons that they're leaving? And that seems to be where we're at right now on that. All right, I read. Of course, I'm doing this one, right, Rhonda? Because every time we have a big conference, right? So I read's a big thing, especially with special ed, because some things have changed with iRead. So our second graders take it. If they don't pass, then they have another opportunity to take it in third grade. They actually have several opportunities to take it in third grade. The difference with special ed now is that you used to be able to take it once. If they didn't pass it, they could get an immediate waiver. But now they have to do summer school. So they actually end up taking it like 3 times in third grade. So they actually have 4 chances to take iRead. If they don't pass it, we can just come together at a case conference and decide that it's appropriate to move them, give them the waiver and move them forward. But they would still have to continue to take the test iRead until they pass it, until their 7th grade year. So that is a big change that kicked in last year. And so that has also caused us to have an additional summer school at the very end of, after the kids leave in June. But we're working hard. Our Title I programs, both buildings work very hard and really help us promote that and help us remediate those students. So we're very thankful for that. So.
iLearn checkpoints. So this is our second year with iLearn checkpoints. We decided to pilot with the state last year to get some exposure with it. And what the checkpoints are is our students take them. They're a shorter iLearn test for both math and reading. And they take them in October, December, and March. And then there's the summative that's been in existence for forever. That they take in April and May with a big window there. So we've been excited by the Indiana DOE this year because they have improved their results. So I want to walk you through a little bit about that, just to share with you what the DOE has shared with us. And ultimately, recently, they had a webinar I was able to jump on and learn a little bit more about what comes out with the students and their data. So the first thing they're going to see is where they're at in the 4 categories. Below proficiency, approaching, at or above. So that's what parents are going to see is right there where their child is. Then on the next slide, it'll break it down for them and for us as educators. So what we're seeing here is in the bar graph to the left, below, our students are going to see a pool of questions in the below category. If they reach, which if we look, and it's tiny here, so I'm going to get closer. If we look at this child's scores, they had 5 below level questions. So we're talking about depth of knowledge, more simpler questions. If they reach 67%, 6, 7, then they move on to the next category. All right. And I didn't make up that number, that just helped the joke. Then they go to the approaching where they see another or more complex or difficult questions. If they reach 67% there, they get moved up to at, which this child did actually hit at 50%. And so it didn't allow them to see any above level questions. All right, so that kind of helps us to see where are they at with the complexity of questions that the students can answer that we can use for our tier 1, tier 2 interventions. Over on the right, very small font, and I'm not going to go really close to read that, but that is showing the actual standard strand, all right, of the question. And then there's a check mark on the far right or an X on if they got that correct or incorrect on the below, approaching, above questions. So you can see of that section, which standard strand are they like not getting? Now, what's nice is because they have more checkpoints, some of those, especially in readings, that's what this one is, most of those strands are coming back in checkpoint 2 and 3. So we'll be able to see if they improve with each passing checkpoint. So that was nice that the state gave that, because last year they did. So this was really cool to be able to jump into so that we can really improve our RTI win time, as we call it, at Mount Wheatfield instruction and what we're targeting with our kids.
So to kind of go along with that, our new system that we're using this year is Edmonton Exact Math, or they call it Rainbow E, is what the kids call it, because there's a little, it's like an app in it. There's an E and it's a rainbow, so that's what the kids call it. But it actually gives them, we do a beginning, middle, and end of year diagnostic test. It doesn't change. So you can really see from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year to the end of the year, their growth. And so we are doing that this year. And then they put them on a learning path. So all the kids have their own learning path where they were. It was very interesting when I was going across to PLCs, and I'm sure David too had hit this, and some of the teachers were like, they should be at like in the 2nd grade or beginning of 3rd, and for some of those skills were at 1st grade level. So it allows you to see where those gaps are, and it's supposed to help close those gaps on those specific skills that they are struggling with. So, and that's also then, once they take the iLearn checkpoints, they get a new learning path to help fill up those gaps in those standards to help with their iLearn too. So it's the kids seem to like it. They get trophies. And so if you want to go on to the next. So it tells you kind of how long they're on task, how long they're on it, how the skills mastered, and then all the trophies that they get. The total time on the system, they kind of told us we had training. We had a training in the beginning of the year for teachers and for admin, and then we also just had another one for them after they got into it, just to dig into the reports and everything. But they kind of told us that total time on system, because we're questioning what is that between the time on task. Well, the time on the system is the whole time it's running. So that could be, they could have got up, took a bathroom break, they're doing different things. So it times out at 20 minutes, right? Is that what it is? 20 minutes, yeah. So
It was 60 minutes a time.
what is it? I thought it was after 20 minutes. So it's 60 minutes. Okay. So they told us not to they don't even know really why that's on there, but to look at that time on task. So you can kind of check and watch your kids and see how they're staying on task. So we're hopeful that it's going to, you can see the Rainbow E, why they call it the Rainbow E. And we're hoping that it's going to help us increase along with our checkpoints and be a combination for that. The kids seem to enjoy it.
So one of as a district, our areas of focus is the academic areas. So this year at Mountain Wheatfield, as it's the reading textbook adoption year. So we're shopping around with the reading programs that the state has approved. We have all of them in our hands except for one. And we found out in our discussion at Wheatfield, and I'm sure it came up at DeMont, but that company, I don't know if they didn't allow the DOE to even review them through an outside audit, but it's well, maybe that's a sign to maybe not shop with them. So we're narrowing it down to our front runners, and then in January we're going to get a closer look then next semester at those companies that we're really liking. I know in talking with the team, we're really wanting to get back to just through the COVID years, we kind of like fall in love with the online programs because, right? The era of it's like we need to get back to books in the hands of kids.
Yeah.
So
The meat and potatoes.
yes, yes.
When
And
I
so
met with our PLCs, I asked them, I said, guys, we can't keep doing the same thing and getting the same results. And so I told them, how are you paying attention to how much during the day are your kids actually reading? How much are you being able to listen to them read? Where are they at? So I said, as a school and as their different teams, we really need to, and I know your teams also have talked about that. How are we building that? Because when they get on to do I Learn, if they don't have that stamina for reading, they see all of that and they just want to. They're not reading it. They're not reading it to comprehend. So we're really talking about that as both schools about how we can build our students from kindergarten on up for their stamina. And that's why we really, really need to pick a thorough ELA curriculum so we can meet those standards.
and the other point to this is we're just trying to best use our RTI time or win time, what I need acronym that we've adopted through our PLC training and modeling. So just making sure that we're bringing in best tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 interventions and always having that discussion through PLCs, collaboration meetings with our teachers.
Okay. Discipline teams, discipline always comes up, right? Obviously, we know, our society's changing constantly, and so we have to change constantly as teachers and educators. And so we work very close. DES ends up in Wheatfield are working really close. We're getting those guidelines set down. We have all of our signage up in our buildings with similar wording. And Rhonda helped us with that, reaching out to someone to get those signs in the fall. We are working on monthly character traits in both buildings. DeMott has hired, you guys do use everyday speech. Your school counselor uses everyday speech, right? And DeMott has purchased it. I purchased it for our entire staff because we need to have those social skills, just basic social skills in placing character traits to help with those behaviors, because sometimes the kids just aren't coming into school with that. We both have some discipline teams and building that, building those PBISs, looking at our behavior matrix and making sure that we're meeting the needs there. And then, of course, all the school culture. I think overall at both buildings, our school culture is pretty good. We do a lot of different activities. We do a lot of team building activities with our staff. And we both have pretty open door policies and doing great. Of course, this year at DeMott, we do also have LiveWise. So we have talked about, he has mentioned that some other schools have said that that's helped behaviors and stuff. So we're hoping down the road, obviously we can't see that yet. It just started. But our LiveWise, the kids seem excited when they come back. I actually did go over and observe to see what was going on. And it was like a Sunday school, but the kids were excited. Many times they come back and it's like we had 38 or so in the beginning, and now we're up to like 76 right now. We have second and third graders going. They thought that was the best bang for their buck with the older kiddos and understanding. They also work on character traits that kind of match ours and what we're talking about. And so it's been a great thing. They're hoping to go to first grade, but they have to get the teachers to do it, just like, right, they have to find teachers, and they'd like to find retired teachers with, they want regular teachers that are stepping in. So it's just, that's what they said their biggest challenge was the last time I talked to them, because they thought they were going to do first grade second semester, but they're not sure. They're not promising that, but they would like to do that, and they would like more time, obviously, but our schedule's pretty tight. But yeah. Do you have anything else to add on that?
It's good.
Okay.
Another focus area for us is school safety, right? And so we're always looking at our safety plans by having those meetings with our safety teams in our buildings and making any changes and discussions happening there. So working well with Officer Zickman, Officer Rusk. And you're checking out our Facebook pages. We're capturing, especially Officer Zickman, working with our kids, Officer of the Day. He was the Polar Express conductor at Wheatfield and doing rides to school. So he does a really nice job with the relationship piece with the kids. And then, of course, Officer Rusk is in the afternoon. And so that's been great with our latchkey after school
programs.
program. They've been really a lot of positive feedback to have that there at the elementary side. So he checks in with them each day, and that we feel that it's nice out there on the park, out in the playground. He's out there with the latchkey, supervised aides and hanging out. So just good thing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So seriously, I do count my blessings to be the principal at Wheatfield Elementary School. It really is, it's a great place to be, great district to be. So, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity.
I also thank you. Demon's wonderful. Been there for lots of years. And so if it wasn't, it wouldn't be right. It's my second home. So, but thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any questions?
How did e-learning go today?
Very well, very well. Our turnout was lower because they did not have Chromebook, to be fully honest. So we worked with our parents. Our parents are very understanding, flexible, cooperative with us. Overall, once we kind of, sat down and communicated things out this morning, and our teachers through Class Dojo, I read all of their messages, and they are very good with our parents and working through that little detail. So yeah, it was a good experience overall.
Same here. Overall, we popped in and some teachers were on and they were doing it. Our classrooms were not as full as they usually are for e-learning, but I do feel that's because we didn't have the Chromebooks home either. And the first one, Google Meet. We had some that weren't real as happy with Google Meet as they are with Zoom, but you're gonna have that and they need to work through it. This is our first time doing it, but overall, I think it went well, don't you think, Rhonda?
From the feedback we've gotten from the teachers, that's, I would say.
They're so big, I think they're getting pretty used to maneuvering. Some better than others, but overall, no.
No desperation emails.
Oh, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
There were not any.
And I was
Sometimes you get
kind of
those.
surprised that there weren't, but we reached out to them right away and we're like, it's okay, guys, like, it'll be fine. So it's good.
Items?
What can we do to help you? With some of your struggles, we always hear the positive. We've talked about this before. What can we, I know everyone's struggling, we all have struggles. So what can we as the board help you or assist you with?
If we're gonna get into like personnel or anything, we have to wait for the executive session.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just stating.
Right.
I was just letting them know. Yeah.
I don't think, as far as just our personnel know, but I think, if future roses and stuff, there's always just time for more behavior support and stuff in behavior specialists and stuff.
I think
Gary does a ton, but it's a lot.
Yep.
A lot at the moment.
yeah, and we just need our teachers are incredible. It's instructional assistants, good qualified instructional assistants that are ready to apply and work in our schools for our kids.
Anything else? If not, that's all the items we have for the work session.
So we'll be over here. Yeah.
6:50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three.